Right, so Courtney,
Yes.
what advice would you give to your younger self? So we're going back to like 18-year-old Courtney. If you could go back in time and give yourself advice, what would it be?
Ooh. That's a long list. But I don't know how much time you've got. I don't know how much time you've got. But the thing that popped into my head from a like fitness perspective was just after the age of 18. I got injured at I was playing football at uni, just messing around. But I felt like I was gonna that I had a clear path career-wise in terms of sprinting, like track. To answer your question, would be to look at the future a little bit and go, do you know what? Buckle down. Buckle down.
Was you someone that like you didn't have a plan B? It was literally I'm gonna be this sprinter and that's it.
No, I did have a plan B because I always was academics was like still always number one. I was like, I found school comfortable. I enjoyed school. I'll come home with a medal. They'll be like, oh, that's good. Have you done your homework? Tidy up your room. Do you know what I mean? So I think that at that moment when I got injured, I was away from my coach, away from home, chilling with friends. I didn't have the discipline to do the rehab properly, to really buckle down and get back on track. And then I made various attempts across the subsequent years to try and get back into it. And it was just hard in terms of like not being where I was at. So the mentality of that piece was like, oh, I'm back in, going training, bro, I'm struggling with this. I'm running these times, or this person's now ahead of me. And then, I just wasn't mature enough to kind of like,
So did you know that, so once you didn't get into track and field athletics, did you know what you was going to do in terms of like your career path?
No, I didn't. I would love to say, man, I had it all mapped out, some 20-year plan, but I didn't. I was like, but I was confident it was going to be all right. Like I didn't have any doubt that life was going to be cool. I thought whatever it is I do.
So how did we get into fitness? Like what was your starting point?
So obviously like that background of track, and I played other sports as well. Like obviously I played football at school, at uni. And once I did recover from the injury, that was kind of my main sport. I played football mainly. And then, do you know what? I got qualified. I kind of like half on I want to do this qualification. So I did my level 2, level 3, just kind of to assist in my own training. I enjoyed learning. Like I said, the academic side of things was always fun. I'd done GCSE, and I was doing my degree was in accounting and finance.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I was like, I'm gonna do a degree. I'm gonna do accounting and finance.
And did you go into that because you was like, okay, that's my career path, or
kind of? If I'm honest, I loved TV and film, so I was always interested in TV and film. I used to do a bit of theatre work outside, like in summer holidays, etc. Because I would never ever make any of those things my main. Even though they were hobbies, nah, school is here. I need to do this after school. Or the weekends. It was never going to be, I'm never going to drama school. Then everyone was like, I'm going Brits. So I was I went to the Brits Open Day every year for like 5 years. I was like, Brits Open Day. I'm going. But I was like, no, this ain't going to be me. I'll do this after school. And then, so I did, I was doing media technology, and accounting and finance uni. And that was going well, playing sport, and then had like in my second year, my dad got ill. So my randomly, I'll share, like my dad had a stroke at 49 years old.
Oh wow,
like, super fit, super healthy. You know, like people, I walk down the street, like, oh, like, hey, who's your brother? I remember at that time, I would like, every girl I ever spoke to, if a girl ever came to my house or saw me on the street, or saw, they'd be like, oh, who's that guy? Is that your older brother? Oh, that's my dad. My dad was the guy. And then just one day, randomly working too hard, stress, yada, yada, yada. Things that I now understand, but at the time, he's Superman. He just like randomly had a stroke. That changed everything. I was like, oh, do you know what, man? I don't want to live. I was staying away at uni, not far from London, but I was like, do you know what? I want to move back home. So I went to I then moved to South Bank.
Yeah.
So I could stay home.
Yeah.
Blah blah. Do that bit. We'll fast forward all of that. But he's cool now, by the way. If anyone's wondering. So then, yeah, that was a bit mad because in that one day he, like, probably aged like 20 years in one day.
Wow.
So he went from being this like, let's do this, to like slower, less confident. So I was like, you know what? I kind of used it a little bit as a, now looking back with a bit more maturity, it was probably a little bit of a kick as well. So I was like, you know what? You got a decision to make. I was going to transfer my credits from where I was at to South Bank, but the way that the modules had worked out would have meant that I would have had to do another 2 years instead of another year.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, do you know what, man? 2 years of kind of, I don't want to do accounting.
Okay.
And also a degree in accounting, for anyone who's wondering about it, it's not the thing.
Okay.
It's not it, because you still gonna have to do your other.
Yeah.
There's better ways.
Your other accounting qualifications.
Yeah. There's more streamlined ways to get to where you need to be. So I was like, you know what? 2 years of what I don't really want to do, or 3 years of what I do want to do.
Okay. Yeah.
So then I went to South Bank, studied sports science, sports and exercise.
So when you started studying sports science, was that a view to, okay, I want to be a coach, a PT?
No, I still thought it was going to be like research. I thought it was going to be down the science route. I thought it was going to be designing sports drinks.
Okay.
That's kind of like, that's where I thought it was going to go. It was going to go down the biomechanics or the nutrition angle to make these marginal gains and whatever. That's kind of how I thought. So it was more a creative idea. Yeah. And then done that. Had done my qualifications. Was training family members. And then just it slowly elevated, escalated. I remember I was talking about this not long ago. I was PTing people, friends, people I'd met randomly. And I remember at the time I was charging £20 a session, and people were like, £20 for a PT session. I was like, what is that? 4 hours? I was like, no, it's an hour. Yeah. And I remember like thinking, boy, man, I need to like step up my game. Yeah. I was living in South at the time, and I was training this woman she lived in Leytonstone. So I was driving. Yeah. I was driving from Sydenham. Yeah. To Leytonstone. Yeah. Picking her up. Yeah. Going to a park that was 10 minutes from her. Yeah. Training her for sometimes hour and a half. Dropping her home. Yeah. Driving back to my house. Yeah. That £20 gone. £20 was gone long time. £20. Nowadays, that £20 was gone before I got to the Blackwall Tunnel. I was like, this is actually crazy. And I was going through it. But that led on, the reason I even mentioned that particular client, because one day I went to train her, and it was pouring with rain. Yeah. So outside it's pouring with rain. I was like, let's still just get it in. Blah, blah. You know, I got my bag. I got a couple of little pieces of equipment. I've got boxing gloves. You know the ones. Yeah. Gloves and pads. Yeah. And then she was like, do you know what? I remember at Fitness First in Leighton. Like, how about I get you a guest pass? Yeah. And we go there. At least we can just train inside. Yeah. Okay. Of course, she's got guest pass. Gone there. Gone inside. I'm looking like, cool, all right, Fitness First Leighton. Big, it's a big one, like, it's got everything you need. Yeah. So we go in, we're training together. Yeah. PTs are giving evils. Yes. Straight away, I was like...
I often say, like, a PT would rather you chat to his girl or his partner or her partner than you chat to their client.
Oh, mate, I think that you might be right. I was like, the thing is, this is not even their client. This is just someone who is in the pool of members that they might be able to talk to.
And then also another thing is you can sniff out another coach.
Yeah. Just where they're looking, where they're standing.
You can just tell.
The thing is that, but I was new to all that. So I'm thinking, do you know what? It's fine. I'm training with my friend. Yeah. You know, 20, like you said, £20 gone anyway. I'm basically doing it for free. So we're training. I'm doing a couple of little reps just to make it look like we're training together. Whatever. Some guy comes up to me and goes, are you a PT? Like, aggressive as hell. Are you a PT? I'm like, yeah, I'm qualified. Yeah. It's like, yeah, all right, cool. went off.
Yeah.
Some other guy comes up to me now. This guy looking a little bit managerial. He's got trousers on.
Okay,
trousers and a t-shirt.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, this guy. And he's like, yeah, I've had a couple of complaints. I'm like, I'm qualified, but that doesn't mean I can't come to the gym and train with my friend.
Yeah.
And if I'm qualified, of course I'm going to give advice.
Yeah, of course.
I said, all friends are going to give advice via experience, etc. What do you want me to do?
Yeah.
Blah, blah. So anyway, that happened. Guy comes over. This guy's name is Jules, right? He was I think he was studio manager at the time. He studio manager, and he was about to teach a spin class.
Yeah.
So we done our session it was early evening. So maybe we done our session like 4 till 5.
Yeah,
He's teaching a 5:30 spin class.
Okay.
My client had been to his class before and was like, oh, he teaches the best spin class in the UK, man. Trust me, it's wicked. And I'd done spin once or twice before, random David Lloyd or whatever. And I just remember thinking, my bum is hurting, bro. This is not for me.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at people just busting my ass. So I'm like, what? This is, this is just not for me.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, you should try it, blah, blah. He's like, come do it. There's spaces left. There's 2 spaces. Come do the class.
Yeah.
And I just went, all right. Jumped into the class. So after we'd done our session, we did the class together. Enjoyed it. He was playing 90s R&B, playing jungle. Yeah. I was like, yo, this is a vibe. So I'm like, on the bike, I'm like, I'm enjoying it. He's like, hey, you were good. Like, you haven't done this before. I was like, no, I enjoyed it. Good vibes. You got sick rhythm, blah, blah. Yeah. Well, I told him that I'm an instructor.
Yeah.
And he was like, do you know what, man? We need more instructors. Like, I got to big this guy up because he was like, oh, we need more male instructors. Blah, blah. Like, we spoke about it for a little bit. And he just went, do you know what? If I get you on a course, would you teach here?
Yeah.
Because we're looking for more instructors. And I was just like, yeah. So that started this little theme for me of just like, let's go, man. F it. Let's do it. Okay. And I've always been a bit like gunning. Okay. So I was just like, yeah, cool. About 2-3 weeks after that, I was at the YMCA doing my 2-day spin qualification. Done it, blah, blah. I was practicing. Them times it was CDs. I was burning CDs to make playlists. Spin 1, jungle spin 2, making all these playlists. Yeah. And then it was like deep end. They was like, oh yeah, we need you to cover a class. There's a lady, like anyone who knows Later Fitness First, there's a spin instructor called Helen, Helen's like the goat. She's like Messi of the spin world at that time anyway, right? So you're covering Helen's class. Covering Helen's class was like, and as a newbie, this was my first class, Okay. I remember, I have to give you the story. So I've got into the room, got there early, set up.
Everyone's watching you.
No, there's things already. No one's in the room when I'm setting up, but there's towels. There's towels. People have owned their bike, locked their bike down. There's water bottles. There's towels. Seats. Everything's adjusted. You're thinking, all right, cool, set up. Blah blah. Thing. Microphones on. I'm set up. People come in the room. Later Fitness First has got character. That's what I'm gonna say. So I come in the room. I start. Hi, I'm covering. For Helen, my name's Courtney, about any injuries, all the usual stuff. Start the class. Some lady walks in maybe like 3 minutes after I've started, but her stuff was already set up. So she's got there early, but still came in late.
She's a vet.
Yeah. She popped in. She's missed my spiel. Hey, I haven't told anyone that's my first class. So
Okay,
deep end, let's go. So I'm on the bike. She's following what everyone else is doing. Boom, boom, boom. I then give like about a minute later, I give my first instruction. All right, so when the chorus comes in, we're gonna stand ourselves up. She's like, I literally look at. She's like directly in front of me. Like near the back of the room. Like she's actually at the back of the room, but like directly in front of me. And then I can see the confused look on her face. Like, what voice was that? This woman. Turns the lights on. She leans back. Bam! Turns on the lights.
No.
And says loudly, like she turns like it makes me kind of pause. Everyone in the room is like looks around at her, like what's going on? And she goes, "You ain't Helen." Like in the middle of my, so I'm like 3 minutes into my first ever class, and I was like, "Yeah, I know. Can you turn off the light, please?" And I was like, "Well, I think that was the moment." I don't even want to exaggerate. That was the moment where I was like, okay, like I'm in. She turned off the light. after the class, people were like, oh my God, where else do you teach? Blah, blah. That was like my first class.
Yeah.
And they had gone back to this Jules guy. Obviously, he's asked them for feedback.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, he's great, blah, blah. And then it was just like from that moment, it was like a roller coaster. What else do you teach? Oh, can you teach a kettlebells class? So I was teaching classes there, everything.
So was you just teaching group classes at that Fitness First?
At first, yeah. But then it was like, all the Fitness First kind of linked, especially by area, so by region. So jumped in that class. For that class, remember, so I'm going through Blackwell Tunnel still. I'm still in the city. To get there for a 6:30 class, I'm like, right, I need to be set by 6. Which means I want to be in the gym 5:45.
Yeah. So you're leaving early.
Going through Blackwell Tunnel, I need to be leaving my house at 5.
Yeah.
So that means I need to wake up at 4:30. So I was waking up at 4:30 to get there, teach a 6:30 class for £20. And I was hustling through, man. I was hustling through. Then, like, nothing for the whole day. Oh, you're covering a class at 7:30 p.m. hanging around. So the whole day I've used...
Wow. So in terms of, like, the business of it, you was a freelancer. Are you self-employed or was you employed by...
Oh, no, freelance. Most fitness instructors, especially at that time, across all these gyms, they were all freelance coaches. Unless you had a studio manager job or a regional manager where you had a bit of a salary, everyone was... And it's still pretty much the same.
So how did you manage the business side of it? Or was you even realising about the business side of things?
Nah, I wasn't. At that time, I was doing it. I was getting to the end of the month when you're getting £120, you're okay. You're like, okay, like let me buy some credit. I don't know, whatever it was. It was mad. And then it was just like more and more classes. But then you realise, wait, I can't just do more and more classes.
Yeah.
At the time, there was a bit of a full circle because a friend of the family was going on maternity leave and she had an accounting job. She was an accounts assistant in a school in Norwood.
Okay.
And I was like, she was like, oh, look, I need 18 months maternity cover.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm down.
Okay.
So I took on this role, so Monday to Friday. I was like, oh, can I do 10 till 4? So I can get to my evening classes, do the morning classes. So I was doing fitness instructor in the day, like in the mornings. Yeah. Accounting in the middle of the day. Yeah. And then instructing.
So how was that like juggling the two?
It was all right, but I could just feel that I wasn't as excited when I was sitting in this room, boy, with my shirt, with my top button undone. I was like, this is not it, man.
Okay. So then, fast forward a little bit. How do you go from juggling the two to becoming a full-time fitness professional?
It was a bit of a transition. And the transition was, there was no hard decision, like, right, this is happening tomorrow. It was more and more classes. Do you know what? Can I do 10 till 5? Yeah. And have Fridays off? Okay. Do you know what? Can I do 10 till 5? I won't take lunch breaks. Yeah. And I'll just do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That's what started to happen. And I started to move all my classes. Because as I started to progress, I stopped saying yes to all of the classes. Yeah. So I was like, nah, man, I'm only taking it if it's a double. If it's 2 classes back to back. Okay. Nah. I ain't taking no class down in Hammersmith. Yeah. Get me a Liverpool Street.
And is this because your name's building, your reputation's building?
Yeah, reputation's building.
And you're feeling confident in yourself, so you're more likely to like...
Yeah, 100%. And the where I'm at now in terms of like doing a bit more like creative stuff, more consultancy around the fitness space, it even started back then because even when I was at Fitness First, you had a bit of freedom. Okay. So I was creating classes. There's classes that are out now. Yeah. Chains of gyms that are like, this is my class, this is our concept. I'm like, yo, I've been doing that. So I, at that same later Fitness First, they were like, this is the equipment we've got, blah, blah. They have a massive studio. You can get about 45 people in the studio. I created this little class and I don't even know what it was called. I didn't even give it a name. But like there was weights, there was mats, there was boxing bags. Okay. Yeah. And it was like basically like a tri-concept. And it rotated, music, people had to do the countdown. It was, I got videos. It was popping off. We're talking 10, 15 years ago. Okay. And that was me coming up with an idea, it going crazy, queues out the door for this class.
There's now studios doing that.
There's studios doing that. Yeah. And do you know what? I'd always been like, I don't know if I was nervous about every class I taught. Yeah. I used to spend so much time planning it.
Yeah.
I used to get there mad early to make sure the mats were lined up and whatever.
Yeah. But that attention to detail is probably why your reputation built.
Hacks. And now, when I'm in the role where I'm recruiting young trainers, people who are new to the industry, I'm like, oh, some of them don't have that.
Okay.
And it's just their nature. If you don't have those those pieces of the interest in the detail or the pride in your work, sometimes it's not going to happen for you, in my opinion. And then when I'm picking out about it, you know, I'm saying, hey, what about this? Or you could do that. They think, I've had it. Even experienced coaches, you know, in my last role for a major gym, like I was a head trainer, right? So I was head coach. So I had to help with onboarding, doing appraisals of the coaches, etc. And I just want them to all be popping.
Yeah.
And I want feedback, so I'm giving them light feedback.
Yeah.
You know, how about this? Did you think of this? This is how we can make it more uniform across the business. Because I've been to your class. Yeah. I can hear what the management are saying, and I'm trying to give you that information nicely. Yeah. Hey, how about we try this? Yeah. This is what members are actually saying about, like, and we'll try. And people are like, no, but I've been teaching 15 years and this is the best way to do it.
Stuck in their ways.
Stuck in their ways. But then you get some people who are like, I love the detail. I want to make sure the mats are all facing the right way.
Yeah, so I kind of want to fast forward it because you're obviously doing like amazing stuff now. Your affiliation with Nike. Yeah. Or Nike, depending on where you're from.
No, Nike.
Okay, Nike. Sorry. Your affiliation with Nike. How did that start?
There was, do you know what? I was doing my work. Yeah. I was doing my work, doing my thing. I had moved from working just solely at Fitness First. I was then working at Gym Box teaching classes there. That was a financial decision and a creative decision. Yeah. The style of the classes, equipment, etc. And they were paying more. And then again with this creativity of class development, there was a gym called Another Space, which is now Dig Me, and they had a concept which was weights and boxing. Yeah. And someone who had been to my class and known what I was doing was like, listen,
this is for you.
Yeah. So I think they had told the head of recruitment there, the person who was in charge, and then this lady, like her name's Mila, like I have to big her up as well. She was like, I want you to come and do an audition. I was like, cool. Did the audition, and this is real facts. Yeah. When I did the audition, she was like, this is the stages of the audition. You've got to do your audition, and then they'll tell you to create a program, and then you've got to teach it again, and you've got to teach it to the head of the gym.
So quite a few steps.
There was a couple of steps, there were 3 or 4 steps. I remember doing my audition, and then she asked me, she goes, could you put together like a little class? And I remember putting it together, we sat in the studio. I can remember it so clearly. Yeah. Then I was like teaching it back, and I got to about 10 minutes in, she was like, she ran out the room. I was thinking, I'd just continue teaching. Yeah. And she went and got the manager and pulled him downstairs and was like, and she told me after, she was like, we had to skip some steps. I had to get him to watch you like now. And then the gym was opening about 2 weeks after that, and I was like, yeah, cool. And then I taught, like, on the day it opened, I taught the launch classes along with some other trainers. And I was there for a year. Something similar was opening. BXR was opening. Coach called Sonia, big up as well. She was like, yeah, I want you to come and try out this place. Went there, similar story. And I was there for like 5 years. Being able to help create new ideas for classes. Yeah. They then started to expand and open other sites, and I had like a little hand in, you know, in some of the decision making around how things should be, blah blah, whatever. So grateful for those opportunities from those people, those establishments, and that kind of got to the point where I was like, oh, do you know what? Like the creative part of it and kind of helping to manage. Bridge the gap between management and the coaches was like the thing. I felt like this is my bag, because I felt like that was the thing. But I had people from Nike come into sessions, when I was at another space, etc. And then they'd asked me to help out on an event.
Okay.
So a lady called Megan, big her up, but biggest big ups.
Yeah.
She was like, oh, I would love you to help out on an event. And I was like, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I think there was a handful, there was a big event. This was 2016. 2016, big event, loads of trainers, like people I'd always looked up to, like some big names. And they was like, oh, these people are doing the main bit of the work and they need to be in this room for a big reveal.
Okay.
So we need some additional trainers to be outside the room to help people warm up, to be ready for the big room. I was like, cool, bet. I'll do warm up vibes.
Yeah.
Again, I was like, same vibe. I was like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Did it. From that, I guess there was some good feedback somewhere, and started to make relationships with some of the people at Nike. And they were coming to classes, and then one day I got called in for a meeting, and this story is hella funny to me anyway. Like,
how long have you been doing that for before you got called into a meeting?
Do you know what? That event was in the summer of 16.
Yeah,
and that meeting was in Feb 17.
Okay.
The meeting was in Feb 17. And in like another piece I kind of missed out was that I was doing some, like during uni, I was doing like event management work.
Okay.
And I was working for a company called Limelight Sports. And I was helping them with a lot of their events, mass participation sports events. And they managed a lot of Nike's events.
Yeah.
So I then helped with, I helped on some Nike events. So that was another way that I'd had it in. People would see my face. People knew what I did outside of that. So a bit of a relationship building. They'd seen me work.
Yeah. So are you volunteering? You've been paid?
No, I was being paid by Lana to help deliver those events. But it was just joy because like it was what I enjoyed doing.
Yeah.
And I think it's helped as well because I saw it from the experience side. So I was behind the scenes. Right, how do we make that look good? Where do the lights need to be?
Okay.
So I think that combined with the hours that I put in actually coaching helped me build experience, and that's where the industry went. The industry went down not just counting reps, it was like how do you put together and I treated my classes like every class was a mini event. It wasn't just come in, let me count, all right, see you later. It was the experience. I'm thinking about the playlist. When am I going to change the lights? All of that. It was all part of the vibe.
So you're called into this meeting.
Yeah, called into the meeting.
Did you know what the meeting was about?
No. So that's what the funny thing is. Like, so imagine I get this message, like it says, this is after I've helped out in the time. I helped out at a second event actually, a NFL event, and that was in October 17. So I've helped out on 2 events now. And then in Feb, I get a message and it says, hey, what are you up to? What are you doing on Wednesday? Do you want to do lunch? So as you do, I go into my phone, I look at the calendar, and I'm thinking, wow, like lunch. The Wednesday is the 14th of February, which is Valentine's Day. So for a split second, I'm like,
is she trying it?
I was like, I can't lie. I was like, wait a minute. I'm thinking some work stuff. I'm getting a message, at Nike. I'm like, I'm like, February 14th.
Yeah, okay.
I was like, I'm free, whatever. So that was just a little moment. 99% I was sure it was work related, but there was just like, then I go to the meeting, but I have the meeting, have the chat, and like, it was kind of sprung upon me like halfway through the meeting, like, yo, this is what we want to do, and it was, I've then been working with them with Nike for 7.5 years, so that was February 17. So
what is it you do with Nike? Like
a whole host of things, and it's kind of changed over the years. But ultimately, I'm a trainer for Nike, part of the global team now, and across, I have commitments. So I do some consultancy pieces with them. We discuss ideas. I film content for the app. In-person events with, obviously we had a big chunk of time that wasn't allowed, but in-person events, smaller intimate settings. I PT some of the people that are affiliated with the brand, And yeah, man, just be a good advocate, representative of the brand.
Yeah.
And you know, hold on to my hat. And,
you know, I've seen you on the app. I've seen you on the Netflix videos, teaching classes as well. Obviously, I've seen you popping up in events and stuff like that. So, are you an employee of them? Or?
No, it's I'm still me. All views and words of my own.
Yeah.
But like I feel, so I'm still self-employed, still a personal brand business.
Yeah.
I feel affiliated to them, you know, like brand I've always loved. And I think it's just like perfectly aligned. You know, I feel everyone's like, oh, you know, I love this brand, but I listen. I've been Nike from the jump. No pun intended. Do you know what I mean? But I've been fully involved, man.
Yeah. So then let's go to your personal business.
Yeah.
What is the structure of that?
So I split my time between my Nike commitments. I have personal training clients. Has reduced somewhat. And I keep it down to people that I align with. I think I can help them. And I'm the best person or a suitable person to help them. And people I enjoy spending my time with. That's the important part. I'm now again at the stage, luckily, that I don't have to say yes to anything and everyone. So and then I do consultancy.
Okay.
So if a gym has a project, very often it's a new project. They have an idea to build something. I'll onboard they'll onboard me at an early stage to help create the idea or thrash out their ideas. So if they say, right, we want to open a boxing gym, this is definitely what we're doing. I might come in and say, all right, how many bags? Where should the bags be? Why boxing? How are we branding it? Is it serious boxing? Is it fun boxing? Or whatever it may be. And then go into the detail about where should the lights be? What type of lights? What's the budgets? And liaise with people within the field. So again, over time, I've built up good relationships with kit providers, with AV, so audiovisual teams, marketing teams, PR. So it's like, hey, can we all get in this room and make sure this thing works? Because the marketing team were like, this is what will work marketing-wise. But the owner's like, but I don't want to open a blah, blah, blah. And the architect's like, that won't fit in this space. And I'm like, that will fit, but people don't want that. Or
the flow of the workout.
The workout's not going to work because there's a pillar in the middle. Or how am I going to see that? Or whatever it is. So we kind of just all align and make sure that no time or money is being wasted. We're giving the people, the best possible.
So how do you manage your business? Is there a team? Is it you? Are you doing the counting, the marketing, everything? Like, how is that structured?
It's at the moment, man. It's a one-man band. And but I'm, as you can hear from that noise, I'm at the point where I'm like, you can't control all of this, man. I know I need a team. And it's just a little bit. I'm not a control freak, but again, the same way we talk about finding the right people that pay attention to detail, but I just want the right people, man. I need the right person. So I have an accountant now. That was the first person added. But obviously, that's mine now. But in terms of managing socials, filming socials, edit it, everything is me at the moment. That is
So a quick question, so a bit of a quick fire. What has been your biggest wins or your biggest win throughout your career?
Making a good living of something that I enjoy.
And what's a good living? Not specific figures, but the reason why I asked you this is because when I was researching wellness professionals, the career span is less than 12 months for a lot of people. They're just failing. So for someone who's been in the game for 15 years? How have you been able to sustain yourself, and what does that look like for you?
it's above average, and I think it's been above average probably for the last. I think maybe like the first. I think each year it's improved.
Yeah,
I've never had a backwards
year.
or a drop. The first, don't get me wrong, the first 5-6 years, I would say probably 2014. So probably like 5 years in was when I was like, okay, right, now it's a thing, and that is when I made kind of the decision to like, do you know what, that 3 days in the office, maybe I can just drop that fully and just take a couple more classes, and I'll be breaking even. And then it opened up more space because you know my time per hour was increasing. And that was quite a bold move. That was like a pivotal point. Like, actually, I'm not going to do that. And
full time doing.
Yeah, I was like, oh, whoa, I'm a full time, because people used to ask me, oh, what do you do? I'm like, I still kind of hate it. What do you do? Oh, I'm a PT. For some reason, that to me has a slight negative connotation. I wish it didn't, but for me, always growing up was like, oh, if you're a PT, that just means that you went to prison, you came out, and that's all you could do. And I felt like that's how it was. Oh, you couldn't read or write, so you decided to.
So what would you say you are now? What would you class yourself as?
Coach and fitness consultant, man.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. And I leaned into it and was like, yeah, actually, that is what I am.
Yeah.
And I think that in the world and the industry's changed a little bit, and there's a bit more respect on it. But yeah, there was a period of time where it felt like, no, man, I'm good at my schoolwork.
Yeah.
So I don't want people to think that I'm just doing this.
Because you couldn't do anything else.
Yeah, it's an ego thing, immaturity. But yeah, I'm here.
Okay, and last question to someone who's at the beginning of their career, and it doesn't have to be like in fitness, it could be anything within the health and wellness space. What one piece of advice would you give them just starting out in their career, like to have that kind of same longevity as you've had?
I would say give it time. Give it time. Do the work. Do the work. Do the work. Have no expectations. Give it time. You said one piece of advice, so this is free. Do the work, give it time, have no expectations, and that's it. Those are the three. When I say do the work, like show up, like do it. Don't sit complaining. Oh, I wish And I'd say maybe not compare. Like, so when I said with the expectation, that links into like, don't think, oh, but this person did this. How come I didn't do that? Or they're doing that, because people are fidgeting. They're like, I'm doing this, then I'm doing that, and we've all got that friend. This idea, that idea. Like, just do the work. I know coaches that are expecting opportunities, expecting money, expecting brand deals. That haven't even been coaching people for a year yet. You're like, wait a minute, you haven't even done the thing. Do the thing. Chill, and all of the other stuff will come.
I appreciate it. That's good advice. Thank you for coming down and chatting to you. I feel that's a perfect way to end.
Hey, thank you.
And I look forward to having many more conversations as well. And I look forward to seeing where your trajectory continues to grow. So appreciate the time.
Cool.
Thank you.